Hey, what's cracking? How are you doing today? I hope this video finds you doing well, man. Hope you're on top of the world. But as I always say at the beginning of my videos, if for some reason this day isn't going your way, if you'll stop for a second, take a breath, and think of a few things in your life that are blessings to you, a few things you're thankful for, whether it's someone you love, or something you have or you hope to have, an education, your health. If you're just breathing, then you have something to be thankful for. And I always like to say that if you'll do that, kind of change the channel as you would if you didn't like the song that was playing on the radio. Well, it changes your perspective, and a lot of times that'll help you have a better day. And this video was supposed to go up yesterday, but there was a real bad tornado, and it touched down about 4 miles from me, and it really tore things up. It destroyed people's homes. It wiped out part of Shawnee, Oklahoma, and my thoughts and prayers go out to the people who are affected by that. And I was just so thankful that I didn't come out of that cellar and see that my home was gone. Uh, if this is the first time you've ever watched a video of mine, my name's Ricky Dye. I went to prison when I was 15 years old, and I did almost exactly 20 and a half years in prison. And I got out when I was 35. And I've been trying to use that experiences that I had, things that I went through, to hopefully deter someone else from making the same mistake, and trying to explain what happened to me and what caused me to be there and what it was like facing it. And like I said, hopefully someone else won't do the same thing I did. And so I've started off telling my story from the very beginning, from what happened to me to the juvenile center to the county jail, and now I went to prison. And right now I'm in Mcalester, and it's time just about for me to move down the hill into what would you consider general population at Mcalester, but there's not really any such thing because you're locked down pretty much 24 hours a day. You do get a quick shower 3 times a week. And if staff permits, you get to go outside 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. But that's if there's enough staff and security. And all they got to do is say, we're staff short. We don't have the security. You don't get to go, period. But when you do go, you go out there handcuffed up with a belly chain and what's called a black box. You'll have a belly chain around you. And where the chain sticks out, they'll have a little black box that the chain will go through. And then your cuffs go through that. So there's no way you're getting loose. And then you have shackles on. And when it comes time to go out for rec, you got to you come over to the cell bars and you turn around backwards and you stick your hand through the bars and they will handcuff you. And then while your cell partner is at the other part of the cell, the other end of the cell, facing the wall. And then you'll trade places and he'll squat down and get his cuffs put on while you face the wall. And the only thing you're allowed to have on at this point is your boxers and your flip-flops or your sandals. And you can stick outside your what's called your bean hole. It's a little slot in the door. Outside that, when it comes time to go rec, you stick out there your whatever tennis shoes you're going to wear, and a pair of socks and your pants that you can wear and a t-shirt. And before you even get to come out of your cell, the guards will search that to make sure there's nothing there. And they'll search around your cell to make sure you haven't hit anything outside to grab when you come out. Then when you come out of the cell, handcuffed up, they'll put that belly chain on you in that black box and they'll shackle you. And right before they do that, they'll use a wand on you, make sure you don't have any metal anywhere hit on you, God knows where. And then you'll go outside and they'll unchain you there once you're inside the rec yard, turn you around and get you all unchained, and then give you your clothes, and you just sit right there and put on your clothes. And then for you get an hour, about an hour, which really it starts when they start chaining you up and it's over whenever they call it. So you'll get close to an hour. And you could play. There's a basketball, half-court basketball out there. Guys play real rough. A lot of guys don't play basketball in Mcalester because it has a high potential for causing problems. They have machine weights. That's about it. No free weights anymore because guys were hurting each other with them. Just pull-ups and push-ups. And it's a very, very little small area where you go to yard. People go out there and run around that little bitty spot in circles just trying to get some kind of exercise. So if you've kept up with my other videos, right now I'm up on 2 Run, and I've been running this poker game from credit at Mcalester, and I've realized that all these guys are in on it together. And I told you my cell partner, this guy Romo, told me he was going to help me. So I got to where I would run this poker game 16, 18 hours straight. And because other cells are taking turns, their cell partners playing, so one plays while the other one's asleep. So I'm up there playing for hours and hours, and I get tired, and I decide I'd let him run it for me. And I wake up one day and go over there, and I catch him cheating. I said, dude, what are you doing? This Mcalester, you're going to get me killed. What are you doing? Are you crazy to cheat here? So he said, everybody's cheating. I know everybody's cheating. So I said, dude, this is over. I'm going to pay everybody off. I'm going to tell them I can't do this anymore. So that's what I did. I shut that poker game down. I paid everybody what I owe them, and I said no more on that, because it was costing me big time. But I wanted to go back to that to tell you about Romo. He was my cell partner, the guy they moved in with me because he thought he would be the best guy to move in with me. He wasn't much of a predator or anything. So he was the barber up there. Somehow he got a barber's job telling that he could cut hair. And one day he comes back and he's stolen half the pair of scissors. And he shows it to me, and he's trying to make him a little handle out of some tore up sheets. And I said, dang, man, what do you got that for? Oh, I might need it when I get down the hill. Might need it when I get down the hill. I'm hoping I go to A-side. I'm hoping I go to A-side. And then they come and tell us that we're going to C-side. Both of us, me and him. And when they tell us we're going to C-side, it didn't matter to me. I didn't know no one on either side. I was just terrified to go down there, man, because the whole time you're in A&R, you hear about things that happen in prison. The whole time you're in F cell house, you hear about the killers down the hill on A and C side and in H block. That's all you hear about is the killers down there. And now they're moving us both down the hill. But the only good part of it for me was they were putting me and Romo in a cell together. And I thought, man, at least I get to keep him for a cell partner. At least they're not sending me down there, putting me in with God knows who. Man, I am terrified of Mcalester. I'm going to tell you, I was afraid so many different nights. Laying there, afraid someone was going to rape me or kill me, then having nightmares about it. Till I decided, man, it can't be as bad as what I'm putting myself through. So from here on out, win, lose, or draw, I'm not going to lay here and worry about that, man. So when you're in Mcalester, it's going to cause a few different things. You're either going to end up on protective custody, go tell the police you can't take it, you're afraid, put you on protective custody. But you can't just go say, I'm afraid to be down here. But you got to tell on someone. Someone has to do something to you. You have to go tell on someone and become a rat. So who are you going to tell on? No one's even done nothing to me yet. I'm just terrified to be there. And everyone else is too, whether they want to admit it or not. So you're either going to catch out, or you're going to end up being someone else's girl, or you end up becoming a killer yourself. That's the only things that there are. There is no other ground. That's it. So I've decided that I'm not going to be no one's girl, and I'm not going to be a catch out. So I guess I'm going to be a killer. So here's what happens is, man, you try to wear a mask so long. Every day you wear the same mask. You pretend you're this. You pretend you're this. You pretend you're this. And you become that. That's how it works. You keep wearing the mask, and you become the mask. If you tell yourself every day, I'm going to go down there and rob Dollar General. I'm going to go down there and rob Dollar General. Next day, one of these days, I'm going to go down there and rob Dollar General. Well, guess what? Sooner or later, you'll find yourself down there robbing Dollar General, because you could talk yourself into anything. So I started trying to tell myself I was a killer, but I was scared to death, man. And so they take me and Romo, move us down the hill, and he's got this little homemade knife, and he starts saying, do I have to go? Do I have to go to C-side? Do I have to go to C-side? I thought they was putting me on A-side. I'm thinking, man, he's really afraid. He's acting more afraid than I was. So they don't even get us to our cell, and he's saying, I think there's a mistake. I was supposed to go to A-side. Can I talk to you for a few minutes? And they're like, well, I'm standing right here. You didn't want to talk in front of me. So I'm wondering, what is going on for him to not want to talk around me? Start saying, hey, I need to make a phone call. I need to make a phone call. They said, well, you could put in a request to staff. You get to make one every 30 days once you get level 2. No, I need to talk to somebody right now. It's an emergency. I need to talk to somebody right now. So they take us up there to a cell in the corner and put us in the cell, and they lock us in. But he won't even take his cuffs off. I got my cuffs off, squatted down, took my cuffs off, got my mattress in there, but he won't take his cuffs off. He wants to talk to someone. So they take him out, take him back out. He says they're going to take him to the office and make a phone call. But really, I found out later, well, we'll get to that in a second. So they take him out of the cell. So I'm sitting there in the cell by myself. Okay. I'm up on the top bunk. I'm laying there. My mom had come up with the money to buy me a TV. So I had just set the TV up. He had his bunk. He didn't even unroll his. His mattress stuff was still on the bottom bunk there. And I was up on the top bunk sitting there trying to find something to watch on TV. All of a sudden, my door pops. And I thought my cell partner must be coming back. And all of a sudden, man, my door gets ripped open. And one of the guys, two of the guys, but the one that I'm about to tell you is doing this is one of the main people in Mcalester that you hear about that's a killer. So when you're in Mcalester, when you're on A and C, you can get certain jobs. If you're on, there's 4 pods on A and C. There's C1, C2, C3, and C4. Each one is a different day room. If you are the day room guy that cleans up, the orderly in that pod, C1, C2, C3, or C4, you're able to go to the other day rooms to get mop buckets and stuff like that, cleaning supplies from the other orderlies. There's one on every pod. C1 has one, C2 has one, and these guys are tight, man. And the ones that are running the unit, they're killers, and they stick together. And if you got lucky and got one of these guys, the other 3 are going to get you, man. And the police are scared of them. The police will help them because they're afraid of them. These guys are doing life. They've stabbed police. They've killed other inmates. The guards themselves are afraid of these guys. They'll pop a door because they don't want them to get them when they come to work tomorrow. They have families. So, yeah, it's on that level back at this time. Things are a lot different now, but back then, these older white convicts, they ran this place. They ran Mcalester. So my door pops and the door swings open, and we'll call him DP, says, "Where's your ratty-ass cell partner at?" I'm sorry, oh my God. And this dude, they call this dude DP the Machine because he's just ripped, man. He looks like a bodybuilder or something. This guy went to prison when he was 18 years old, and he had a 4-year sentence, and he was a little skinny kid. And he ended up stabbing and killing 4 inmates, and ended up with 4 life sentences, and he also got a 20 for trying to escape from Mcalester. And we'll get to a story about that. But people call him DP the Machine because he's a straight killer, man. He looks like a machine when he walks. He looks like the Terminator because his muscles are just all chiseled up. And this dude right here, he likes homosexuals, and he is straight predator, and he is straight killer, and he's one of them people you don't have to make mad for him to get you. And there he is at my door, and he's shaking. And you can see he's got something in front of his shirt. He's wearing a gray shirt. I still see it today. It was sweaty. He'd been working out, a pair of shorts. He had on some old, like army boots. We call them brogans, and a pair of shorts. And you could tell there was a shank in the front of him. And he was shaking. "Where's your ratty-ass cell partner at?" I was like, oh my God. And this other guy, we'll call him Alec, is with him. He's one of his best friends. He's like, come on, DP, come on, he ain't here. I'm thinking, man, how'd he get my door on me? I said, "Where's your ratty-ass cell partner at?" He said, "His name is Romo. You tell him DP was here. You tell him I came to see him. I'm going to kill him. He knows what he done." He said, "He caught out and he ratted on me, and I'll be back to kill him. What's your name?" I said, "My name's Ricky Dye, man, and I don't know anything about it, man. If you say that, then okay, man, I'm not involved, man." He said, "He owes me money. Is this his TV?" Goes over there and starts. I said, "Hey, man, my mom bought me that TV, man. If it was his TV, you could take it, but that's my TV. My mom just bought it. It's got my name on it." And I was scared to death. So they go on and they leave my cell. Oh my God, now I went from being scared to being terrified, man. This is the worst possible thing that could happen. Can't think of anything worse that could happen unless they came for me. So here in about an hour and a half, man, I'm just pacing back and forth myself. I'm shaking, man, I'm shaking. Here comes this guy, Romo, back, and they lock the door. And Romo comes in, and he's white as a sheet. He was half Mexican, half Indian. He said, "What's going on?" I said, "I'll tell you what's going on. DP just came by here, and he said you're a ratty piece of shit. He came to kill you, and he's coming back to kill you. That's what happened." Oh my God, he came over and said, "Yeah, he got the door cracked, man. I don't know how he did it, but they came right in here, dude. I don't know what you did to them guys, but I don't have nothing to do with it, dude. I'm taking the top bunk. I don't have nothing to do with this, man. That's between y'all. Whatever you did to them dudes, not, oh, I didn't tell on them. I didn't." I said, "Dude, I don't care what happened. I don't care what happened. I'm just trying to survive this place. I'm having all kinds of problems on my own, and that's why they moved you in with me. And that's the worst thing that could have happened." So the one guy they could have moved in with me to put this killer in my cell the first day they moved me down the hill, that's who I get moved in with. So they put him in. He goes getting shampoo and he mixes it up in the sink. He squirts it all in front of the door in case they get back over there. He's hoping they'll slip as they come in the cell, and he's got this little shank he made out of there. I'm up on the top bunk, man, like I'm asleep. I don't know nothing. I don't see nothing. I'm afraid they're going to kill me because I'm a witness. So I already know they can get in the cell. Thank God, man, that I guess the guards left word, and for some reason they didn't let Danny back over. They didn't let DP back over there, man. So, oh, Danny, it don't matter. You won't know who he is, but some people do know who he is. But I never mean any disrespect to him. He ended up being a good friend of mine. But anyway, that was my introduction down the hill. So they go ahead and we made it through the night. Stayed up all night. Neither one of us slept a wink, man. And the next day they come up there and handcuff him and take him out, and I never seen that guy again. So what happened is he went to protective custody. He went and told him that DP was going to kill him, and he got out of there. So the next thing that happens is they move another guy down the hill, and it was a guy that was in the cell caddy corner for me up on the F cell house. One of the guys I was playing poker with. And me and him ended up being real good friends. I was 18 years old and he was 20 years old. And the guy that came over with DP, the guy that was trying to get DP to go away, that was his second cousin, Alec. Alec was Tuffy's second cousin. And me and Tuffy were real good friends. And he was a couple years older than me. And as soon as we got down there, the next day they put Tuffy in with me. And then a few days after that, you know, I told you in the last video that every yard you go in, they do what's called orientation for you. As soon as you get to that yard, whatever yard it is, they'll take you to a room somewhere, and they'll have everyone come and see you and tell you how that yard's run. The person who runs the library, the chaplain, person who runs the kitchen, VOTEC, school, deputy warden, the chief of security, the major, the warden himself. Everyone will come and talk to you and tell you how the place is run. The person who runs the gym. So I'm figuring what's the orientation going to be like down here. And the orientation was the unit manager for Seaside, where I was at. His name was Harry Reading. And he came up to our cell and he opened the beanhole up and he said, "Hey, this is your orientation. I'm the unit manager down here. And I'm going to tell you like this. You get down here and you get your ass in a crack. I don't get paid enough to break up no knife fight. My job is to take the loser to medical and the winner to DU. So you better stay out of trouble. I don't know why you're here and I don't care. But you better stay out of trouble if you want to make it out." And that was it. That was orientation. So once you got down the hill, it was like I said on the exercise. If you want to go outside, Monday through Friday. If you don't go, people assume you're scared to go. You're scared to go out. So you have to do that. You have to go. Showers are 3 times a week. They'll take you, cuff you up, take you down a shower, uncuff you, let you have 5-10 minutes. And on C1, there was a black guy that was the orderly and older man. And I would look up, I'd be in there taking a shower and look up, and he'd be acting like he was mopping down there so he could glance at me through the window. So that was already going around. My cell partner, Tuffy's telling me, "Man, brother, you better be careful, man. You better be careful when you get around there to unit pod 2 and pod 3, dude. My cousin told me they're talking about you, man, like there's a beautiful woman about to move around here, man. And you know, he's got me scared to death, dreading moving around there, because that's where all them killers are at. That's where DP lives. That's where all the guys live that have been here for years and years that run this place. Everyone you would ever be afraid of in your life, they're here. Most of the people on C1, they're people that's come off down the hill like you, or people that were on 2 or 3 or C4 and they got in trouble and they went to lockup and now they're working their way back up. Because you start up on F2 and you come out of lockup when you first get there. And then you go back to C1 or A1, and then you'll go to 2 and then 3. And then when you get to 4, you can put in your paperwork to try to go back to a medium security. If you haven't got no trouble and it's been 2 years at least from your last Class X write-up. And that's where we're at right now. This video has gone close to 20 minutes. So I'm going to cut it off here. Now I'm down the hill. My cell partner's name is Tuffy. And one of the worst killers there are has done come and faced off with me. And man, I've tried to decide that from now on I'm not going to be afraid, but of course I am afraid. But my cell partner's about my age, and it's just me and him in the cell for the most part every day. So I'm kind of starting to fit in for what's going on a little bit. You'll be amazed what a human being can get used to. And we'll get deeper into that in the next video. But I have made it down on the on the General Pop in Mcalester. So, and we'll go from there. Uh, I hope that you picked up your blessings today when you started. And if you didn't, I hope that when you stop this video, you'll pick your blessings up now instead of your curses. Don't carry your curses around, man. You pick your blessings up. Change that channel. And may God protect, bless, and keep you and yours. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.